Condoleezza Rice is releasing a book, and the book is called No Higher Honor. In that book, she tells a very interesting story about in the post 9/11 days. They were in China, the president and Condoleezza Rice and Andrew Card, who was the chief of staff, and Condoleezza Rice tells a story, a frightening story about what would have happened, in which they look at a screen, the vice president's talking to them from Washington. Let's actually run this video, if we could, Jesus, of Condoleezza Rice.
We were in Shanghai, actually, when the vice president came on the screen and said that the White House detectors had detected botulinum toxin, and we were all, those of us who were exposed, were going to die.
He said that?
Yes, he said that. And I remember everybody just sort of freezing, and the president saying, what was that? What was that, Dick?
Including the president?
Including the president, because the exposure time would have meant that we were all exposed.
Rice's deputy said they'd run tests, but that would take 24 hours.
He said, let me put it this way, if the mice are feet up, we're toast. If the mice are feet down, we're fine.
But wait a second, for 24 hours we didn't know if the president had been poisoned?
For 24 hours, we were in Shanghai. We did not know the result of those tests. About noon the next day at a lunch in China, I got to him on the phone. He said, the mice are feet down. I went back to the president and I said, the mice are feet down. And the president said, that's a good thing. And I'm sure the Chinese, who probably got a translation, thought it was some sort of code.
Well, I like the code story.
Yeah, I like the code story,
and
too.
I like how Stephanopoulos was like, we didn't know the president had been poisoned or not. She's thinking, yeah, whatever. I was thinking, I'm going to die, okay? Like, I'll worry about the president later, but there's some chance I'm dying in, like, the next 12 hours.
Right.
But really, of course, the most important thing here is Dick Cheney's state of mind, right? Because here's a guy who is deeply paranoid. He carries around a hazmat suit in his car because he thinks the attack is imminent and that he's got to survive. And he's got the bunker. He's well known for that. But look at his state of mind. That as soon as there is any threat at all, he's like, that's it, we're all going to die.
Right.
You know, it's not a conjecture. It's not, hey, he says to the president, I mean, my God, you're going to tell the president of the United States of America, oh, you're about to die?
And there's that,
and without having great evidence of it, like I suspect, no, we're all going to die.
Right. Maybe it's envy, because Dick Cheney constantly feels like he's always going to die. He wants everybody else to feel that way too. I mean, his heart being so frail. It is very telling too, the way that these people spoke to one another at that time. I feel as if the president and the vice president now don't speak that way. I mean, how do you deliver the news that you may have been exposed to botulism or whatever they call it here? If you have a chairman of biosecurity and all of that. I mean, there are advanced security measures that are taken. But just the way that we'll know in 24 hours if everybody's going to die, and that's a strange set of events. And the president's marching around with a kimono or whatever that was.
Which, by the way, I thought was one of his best outfits during his presidency. I mean, he hit a home run right off the bat with that.
I think he looked terrible and ridiculous. But then I saw the other leaders. It was probably some G-summit. It was an APEC summit. And, but I noticed Chrétien, the Prime Minister of Canada, wasn't wearing one. He's like, I'm not going to look as dumb as you.
It's like, not buying this.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it goes towards, I believe it was Suskind's book about the 1% doctrine. And now it's Cheney's doctrine, which is that if there's at least even a 1% chance that we're going to get hit, we're going to take every conceivable measure, whether it's waterboarding, preemptive attacks, things that are legal or illegal, we're going to do it all just to eliminate that 1% chance. That's the mind of a paranoid man. That's the mind of a coward, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, and I say that because it's not to say that, like, hey, we shouldn't have the president and the vice president looking out for us, trying to eliminate all possibility of attacks. Of course we should, right? But we shouldn't have someone so deathly afraid at all times that he's willing to break laws and besmirch America's reputation and do things and invade countries and have hundreds of thousands of people die, civilians die, because he's so afraid. He's in his bunker, he's got his hazmat suit, and he's thinking, oh my God, we're all going to die. You don't understand, we're all going to die.
You know, it's true. I mean, you're taking it to an extreme that it should be taken to. And he was the vice president. He was controlling so much, and so much of our national security policy was based on the paranoia of a vice president. And,
who is mentally upset. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got mental issues. And this guy, in effect, ran the country for about 6 years. To be fair to Bush, by the time he got to like 2006, the end of 2006, he's like, wow. Even Bush was like,
got it.
Like, Jesus, turns out I'd been listening to this lunatic and stopped listening to him for the last 2 years. That's part of the reason we didn't invade Iran. And Cheney went off. I mean, he nearly lost his mind when we didn't attack Iran.
100%.